Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Everybody would stand and say pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quick roll call, please.
Brad Godecker,
Yes.
Deb Hendrickson,
Yes.
Dirk Hill.
Here,
All right, we have a quorum.
Carmen, indication, please.
Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you all for coming tonight, and especially when this is a busy time of the year for most families. Ask that you be with us as we work through the items of business and be with all of us through the holiday season. Amen.
Thank you. Any issues with the agenda? I don't. Okay. Old business, 2026 water utility.
I was able to get on the call with Adam on Thursday to meet the concern that you all had last Tuesday. And with that, very valid points, and brought up some, maybe some information had not been transferred over properly. But wanted to share with you, I did email them out this afternoon, but understand you have those emails like most of us, so. But wanted to just bring your attention to the 2025 budget and then the 2026 estimates. I know that the red last week when we presented the lower budget, there was a bright red underneath the 2026 estimates for the operating, and now you do not see that. So one of the things that Adam wanted to share is that one, he was too conservative on the 2025 budget. He actually updated with the November actuals. So what he had done is, and how we prepare the budget is we go through June 30th and then take the estimates from there to project for the rest of the year. Secondly, he did not have the rate increase in there, so went ahead and got the rate increase in there, and then was able to update. So if you looked at last week's utility budget that was presented, there also was not any tap fees, charges, penalties, and then fire protection fees calculated in there. So I brought that to his attention. After he was able to update it and kind of figure out what had happened, again, with him being conservative, not only will we not have a deficit budget, which was originally kind of presented to you all, we will have a balanced budget, and we have an 11% depreciation that we will be transferring into the improvement fund. You'll hear it as a depreciation fund. We already have an improvement. Depreciation improvement are kind of the same thing. It's our savings account for that particular utility. So with the 2026 estimates, again, we have a 3-year incremental 6% increase in the rates. Again, we will have a balanced budget. It also includes the $250,000 that would be put towards, up to $250,000 that would be put towards a back truck, and then $220,000 would be transferred out of the operating fund into the improvement fund for future projects. But that puts us at again, a balanced budget. And so I take any questions if you may. Any.
I don't have any issues, but I appreciate you checking into that, and I'm glad it was kind of flagged, and appreciate the effort. I would just say, trust but verify.
Yep.
And when we're getting spreadsheets and analysis from him, quick glance, double check, and if you need me to jump in, I can jump in. So, but that's all I had to say. Debbie.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 water budget.
Okay.
Quick roll call.
Brad Godecker,
Yes.
Deb Hendrickson,
Yes.
and Richard Hill.
Yes.
All right, pass 3-0.
New business resolution 2025-13, additional appropriations.
So this was, sorry, guys. This is what, and this is a public hearing, right?
Correct.
I did not put that on the agenda, so make sure this is a public hearing. These are from corrections, as they're going through and cleaning up our books. It was found that we had some dollars that had not been appropriated, in previous years. This isn't just from a this year, fix. So, what is in the resolution is that we need an additional appropriation for the town's general fund of $685,000. And then in the town sewer operating fund, an additional $600,000. And that these would be recorded in the 2025 budget, but again, these are from previous years' corrections.
Is that 391 in the appropriation account? Is that the other 391?
Yes.
Okay.
And Carmen, just for clarification, so what is the reason for the adjustment and how far back? You said previous years, so is that last year or?
It's a few years back. I don't have exact years, but basically what was showing in our bank accounts and what was showing in our accounting software, that's the amounts that we're missing. That's showing in our accounting software. It's showing in our bank, it's just wasn't reconciled properly in the accounting system, or it was never put in.
Is that covering the 149,000 or whatever it was in the ban? 2014 ban, that was in the negative?
This is only, wasn't that a water ban or was it sewer?
No,
Okay.
it was, no, that was a general fund.
I wasn't given the breakdown, the detail.
'Cause if you look on the fund report, that was negative when I came into office.
Okay.
Because,
Well,
so I didn't know if he put that up also, because, okay.
all that we got the breakdown, we received the breakdown.
I don't believe him.
So,
Well, if he does if you guys do the transfers, he has to give you a breakdown on where to put it.
Well, as they've been reconciling, they've been lump summing it.
Okay.
Similar to how Reedy did it.
Well,
But they do provide us with a Google Doc, but to be honest, when I click on that, I don't know that we've gotten it for these two additional appropriations.
All right. All right, well, the ban was bond anticipation note,
Yes.
and they had taken it out with the bank, and you weren't supposed to pay towards it, just subtract it, and she paid towards it. And then we had to have it reversed. And so the procedures weren't done correctly. So that's why it read in the negative 149 or whatever.
so, I mean, and again, I don't understand, I mean, well, $1.2 million. I mean,
So what it is it's in there. It's just the right numbers weren't used. So they're correcting the right numbers, and it looks like it's moving this much money, but it's not. It's correcting where it came from and where it should go. That's all it's doing.
well,
It's-
I understand that, but I mean, $1.2 million that we just kind of stumbled on.
You're probably talking about 10 years worth of stuff.
It was multiple years.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I mean, I just. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to stumble on that we're just flip flopping.
It just wasn't
Correct.
coded correctly.
So going forward,
We're learning.
new council
Even.
in 2028, or we're not gonna have,
I
this
can't
kinda-
guarantee we're not going to, but as long as we can recognize, so when, like I said, the last meeting and last week, we're reconciled. But we also received a very long email with an explanation of how we're not entering things correctly into our accounting system. And so it's kind of like, I mean, I'm almost like, could we just hit reset and then like get a system that one is user friendly, which we've been scoping out new accounting systems in hopes that maybe next year we can make a commitment to move away from Keystone. But the challenge is that it's the system we have to use it. And it's very antiquated, it's hard to use, it's not user friendly at all. And I mean, that's all you go and you make a transaction, oh, I put it in the wrong account, so you have to back it out. So there's another line item that it makes messy accounting. And then you go into and they're like, oh, now I gotta move it here. Well, now I have to do a transfer and there's all these steps to do something that you and I would think is easy, you know, move money from.
You can't just cancel something.
Right. And then
Um,
there's certain things that have to have approval, and then there's certain funds that have to come before you all and then go before the state for different approvals. So.
So I can't say that I understand what exactly this is asking or saying. So this is in accounting software, but not in the bank.
No, it's in the bank. It's not in our accounting software.
So so we're moving money in the bank?
No, the bank is showing the way it needs to be.
yeah, you're just moving it in
We're-
numbers.
We're recording it within our accounting system.
So when, like, every month we're looking at numbers and we're looking, oh, here's how much we have in the sewer operating fund or how much we have in the general fund and stuff. So that will now change dramatically since we're moving $1.285 million out of the general fund.
No, general fund's only 685,000.
Okay, and then
Nobody answered that, to be honest. I don't know in our accounting system. That has been the challenge for me. Is I just need to know, like, I mean, I'll come in and ask the girls, like, do we have money in the bank?
right.
Because when you look at a fund that shows like a fund balance from our accounting software and it shows negative balance, it's like, is this really negative? And they're like, no. And I'm like,
No, the fund should never show negative except for the ban.
I get it, but like
Okay.
right now, there's previous clerk treasurer puts the fire geo bond in the wrong
That's a big one.
fund and it,
Right.
Let's make it.
so
The property taxes, that's just like the property taxes you should be getting here.
they did get it, yes.
They don't just go into the state doesn't, the county doesn't help us out with that because they put it all in one and then you gotta move it out and receipt it in somewhere else. I mean, they make it difficult. You have to make sure it gets in those right funds because in the general fund, you have 10, 15 different categories. And so you're actually writing a manual check, not a real one, moving it out, receipting it in, and you can't back out a receipt once it's receipted. You can't void a receipt. You have to take a manual check and move it out. And then you got to receipt it in somewhere. I mean, that's where the problem is. The numbers weren't used correctly, the correct numbers. So you have all this moving that you have to do and it looks like you're spending, but you're just correcting what was done previously.
So
So
this
Deb,
goes
would you
back.
be able to answer that question? Like if they go and do this additional appropriation, is it going to affect fund balances?
It should not, because it stays in the same fund. You're just moving numbers within the fund. Unless you use,
Even if transactions haven't been, and that's what Adam shared, is that these are transactions that were not recorded in our system.
correct.
So it still wouldn't,
It shouldn't, no, it shouldn't do anything to the fund report. It should only affect the appropriation report.
So let me ask you this. So if we were up to date and reconciling on a monthly basis, like our SOPs say, would we have caught this on a smaller scale way back when? So to your point, you said that this is over time and we keep moving forward. Now we're making a big adjustment. So lesson learned, we have to be reconciled on within 30 days or so. So the information comes to the council, we can go through. So my point to Doug, or not Doug, but Brad, is I want to see the reports. If we happen to approve this, I want to see where this goes in January because
So he wants a spreadsheet to show, hey, we
Okay.
corrected this appropriation
yeah, I
number.
wanna
We
see
need
what
this.
it does and what,
Yeah.
you know, what this does and what it doesn't do. And I think the council needs to be aware. This is a big chunk of money to 2025, hey, we need to move this around, that maybe we could have caught this at a smaller scale previously to
Well,
today.
you don't catch it until you do your bank statements. And if you're not doing your bank statements, then that's the
Well,
problem.
but the point is we're not reconciled. We weren't reconciled for months, over many, many months, and that was the whole purpose.
And the problem is, like when I came into office, there were things on our bank statements that had been on there for years. And I called State Board of Accounts. I'm like, what am I going to do about this? I mean, I have no idea why these are here. And I have no idea how to find them.
Yeah.
Because I was new. He's like, well, you need to go back and find them. And I'm like, yeah, just me by myself. That's all there was just me by myself.
Yeah, I don't
So,
want to
no,
point
what
the
I'm
finger.
saying
I just want-
is-
we need to make sure
It's-
that we're whole.
Well, and the other thing is that if there's a way that we're entering that is incorrect.
Yeah.
Well, we need to be shown why it's incorrect and how to fix it so that we can correct it instead of continuing to make.
With the reconciliations, that should raise the flag
Right.
within a 30, 45-day period that you can catch, not years after the fact.
So if you deposit something in stormwater and it should have been in sewer, when you reconcile the bank statements, you're gonna like, okay, where's my deposit? I have my bank receipt, but it's not on my bank statement. Where's my deposit? Oh, now I gotta go back and see where this actually went. You gotta check the number. Oh, dang it, it went in stormwater. Then you have people that go to correct it and they didn't correct it correctly. So then you've got another mess up. That's the problem. It doesn't get done and you got to catch it at the bank statement balancing.
So how did this get caught now?
Them reconciling the bank statements.
Who's them?
Stone Municipal.
Stone.
Okay.
See, Reedy was supposed to be doing that
They made a bunch of corrections and we just.
and I don't know that they were correct.
They weren't.
See, Reedy came in and was doing things and I was like, no, that can't be right. And they weren't doing it correct either. So who knows how much of what they did is a part of this.
So one of the things, and you asked for this, as they've been as Stone Municipal has been reconciling, they have a Google form that shows like where they've had to make adjustments and that has those line items. And so when you asked a detailed spreadsheet of the breakdown, I don't have it handy right now, but I will make sure that we have that in January.
Yeah.
Of what they're actually, like, what are these?
A hard copy printed for the council, please. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair. I just want to make sure that everybody understands what the reason we're here tonight and what we're doing and the reason thereof on why.
Right.
Because going forward, we shouldn't have these type of
No.
adjustments.
We shouldn't. This is the first time we've ever had something like this. Had to do an additional appropriation.
I want to be certain before we, move on from this this does not affect any of our bank balances currently for the town. This is a documentation
Correct.
statement. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're not literally,
Like the feel is that like, oh gosh, hey, we're, our balances are going to drop or something like that, as opposed to, oh, hey, this is
Just-
record keeping that
fixing columns A through F,
feel more comfortable a little bit.
Would it be fair to say that this is more on the budget side of things than the cash side of things?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, if you remember, we're supposed to appropriate every dollar, so, the things that go negative in that, we're supposed to do additional appropriations.
These type of things affect the cash side when you don't know your balance and you need to budget for projects or pay your bills.
Yeah.
So it's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
So like a real appropriation, a true additional appropriation, I've got $200 in my LRS account here and we are doing a street project and it's not enough. So I got to bring in another 200,000 to finish the project. So then you do move money into that budget, but it only affects the cash when you spend it.
At a specific time parameter.
Yes.
Okay,
But
that's
this
the problem.
appropriation is just moving numbers, but it's not going to be spent. It's
You
already,
understand appropriation,
Yeah.
moving money.
yeah.
that is
So that's a normal additional
specific
appropriation.
time parameter, not
Correct,
years prior.
correct,
We shouldn't be catching up years prior stuff.
right.
That's what I have a problem with. So,
Yeah, hopefully that, you know, once the bank statements get balanced on time, this won't be a problem.
Catch 'em.
I mean, you're still gonna have,
Jenny.
you still could be
Pulling.
6 months behind fixing something because someone hasn't cashed a check or, you know. But yeah,
So do we need to take some sort of action today on this or?
Yes, I need an approval for the resolution so we can move forward.
so they can close out the year.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, move to,
Well, before we do that, we have
Is it
to
public
open a
hearing?
public hearing, correct? Okay, so before we make a motion, public hearing, we're gonna open that up. Mike, anything? Mr. Derek, you have anything? Does anybody on the Daily Journal, do they have a comment or
Everybody else online?
anybody else?
The Daily Journal.
Can you ask just to make sure that,
Do you have anything that you want to say?
No,
No.
no, okay. With that, then we'll close the public hearing. So do we have a motion on the table for resolution 2025-13?
move to approve 2025-13.
Do I have a second?
second,
Quick roll call, please.
Brad Godecker,
Yes.
Deb Hendrickson,
yes.
and Richard Hill.
Yes.
All right, pass 3-0.
Then Carmen, you'll bring that to the January meeting, please.
Can I do a quick update on the hydrant situation?
Yes, please.
So I was able to get with Steve after the council meeting and discuss a contractor. So I have challenged each of the superintendents to kind of bring me their list of contractors that they have worked with in the past, so we could put together like a request for qualifications to have a contractor available to us when we maybe need them. Haven't decided like if it would be project-based or if it would be to help with on-call or emergency type repairs for water, sewer, or storm. And so we just hadn't gotten there yet. I was waiting on one contractor to kind of pull together, like just to help us determine like the scope of works and put some qualifications out to contractors so we can compare apples to apples. So haven't quite got there with each of the departments, but did want to give you an update. We did meet with one contractor on Friday that has helped us out on some other water type projects. They have been great, not only for us that we've used them in some various capacities, but they've been on the school project, and that's how we kind of met them and got to know them. They're helping us out at the sewer plant, cleaning out the oxidation ditch. But had them kind of put together, if it was project-based, what would it cost for them to help us out with these hydrants? So first of all, if they buy the materials, there's an upcharge. That's typical of contractors. But if we would buy the materials, the hydrants, the Inserta valves, we have a cost estimate from Utility Supply, who we primarily get all of our hydrants from, of about $6,800 per hydrant assembly. If we do the Inserta valves, there's usually two, and I'm going high here, would be about $3,500. And then the contractor, if we paid them to do it, just to knock out these 10, and so we don't have to take away from our resources, or, you know, because if we were to do the job, we'd probably need at least 4 people out there, 3 to 4 people. Some of these are live where they cannot shut off the mains. And so if we kind of put that on a contractor, the contractor for if they would do the dig project was about $2,400 per hydrant to do that for us. And then it goes up to, I think it was a little over $3,000 if they do a hydro excavation, which is just a cleaner kind of, they don't use as big of a space to make the cut and use a back truck to cut the dirt. And that is all in like right of way. That doesn't include any asphalt digging in that. So rounding up, including if we bought the materials for backfill and things of that nature, we're estimating about $16,000 a hydrant. So again, the contractor cost is anywhere from about 2,400 to, let's just say 3,500, depending on the type of work that they would do. Talked to Richard about it ahead of the meeting. It's something that they would like for us to kind of lock in, you know, but I understand we probably need to go get a couple more quotes. But, you know, for them to do the project, again, if we had them just do that times the 10 hydrants that are not working right now, we're looking at anywhere from 24,000 to about 35,000 for the contractor to do the work, not including the material and equipment or material and actually buying the supplies to do the job, but we would take care of buying that. So it would be total cost if we did the whole project of 10 of them, about $160,000 for the 10 hydrants.
Is this something we could,
That's high because we may be able to, you know, but the challenge, and I think Steve was clear on this, is that we still don't have a Kennedy rep contact in front of us. And then on the Mueller, and if you look at all of these, most of them are pretty old. So I said, let's just go with full replacement since we're having challenges getting quotes on parts to kind of like at least those 10 that are not working. So
I agree.
I don't have a contract per se in front of me, but you know, I think I'd like to bring that, I plan to bring that back or have Steve bring that back in January, at least for this project, since that was very alarming to most of you on the 10 hydrants. But the whole goal is to kind of put out an RFQ to move forward with finding a contractor or multiple contractors to help us with different projects that we feel are beyond our capabilities or due to lack of manpower. So
Is this something that would qualify for RDC to pay?
well, yeah, but there's water improvement fund too. We're
Well,
getting ready to transfer
but as of-
$250,000.
As of last meeting, our water, you know, was not looking good.
It would depend on where they were located.
Most of them are residential, so
Yeah.
I think you would run into,
Okay.
all of these are residential besides the one behind the liquor store that is,
Okay.
so.
Well, although, as I think about it, public safety
Yeah.
is,
I think public safety.
we could throw it under that, oh, not throw it, but put it under that. And if we use that authority, we could.
Hey, Carmen, so how many hydrants do we have in the community? Do you have that data?
I don't know that off the top of my head.
Okay, say hypothetic, so you have 50.
I would say
So-
we're close to, I don't have the water mapping. We've numbered them all. I think we're anywhere from 700. We might.
700 hydrants?
That is a bad guess.
Okay, so,
I'm sure there's a lot.
yeah, so my point, Yeah. the
Yeah.
point I was trying to make is if we have 10 that are non-functional, and we have a rep that we can't get parts. So this probably needs to be looked at on a larger scale in the next 3 to 5 years capital asset, because get 10 functional up to par, then you're gonna have to start to do, and then you might run into 20 or 30 that have the same situation. So probably shouldn't stop just on the 10. There probably needs to be some evaluation and potentially upgrades to better models, current models, where you can get parts and functionality and so forth. So it may be even a bigger project than just 160,000,
Well, and that's,
especially if you're going to do your flushing on a regular.
2 times a year as well.
Okay, so you're gonna run into problems, guaranteed.
So the one issue is you'll see that Kennedy is an issue. We do not want Kennedy hydrants anymore. And we like the Mueller. They know how to work on them. They're easier to fix, is what Steve has mentioned. And so if it's a matter of finding parts that, you know, and ensuring that our guys know how to fix it. And I think the other thing is that there's no shut-offs, you know, so that's the whole insert of valves helps to be
Mhm.
able to shut off the main, so you don't have to, you know, shut off a whole street or a whole subdivision just based on, in our newer subdivisions, we've put valves in as, or we've asked for the valves to be put in as the construction is happening, so we can do those shut-offs and isolate the mains and fire hydrants and that. A lot of the issues that we have are back over in the, I guess we call it West Whiteland, which is Parkway and that, and then there are some back here as well, but if you look at them, they're 1970s, so they're 50-plus-year-old hydrants and that too, so
Water and cast iron and fittings,
all kinds of fun.
corrosion,
Yeah.
non-functional.
So,
Mhm, mhm.
yep. Just wanted to update you guys on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments on the council? Comments from you guys from the audience?
I just looked at Mike Henderson. I just looked up at 500 feet distance apart on fire hydrants. For residential.
That's that's our standard is that we don't. That's a lot of items.
Yeah, okay. I guess we'll adjourn. So thank you, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming tonight, everyone.
Well,